Let's just jump right in, shall we? Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are unpacking a truly fascinating, highly structured set of teachings that comes straight from the writings of Feng. He's the founder and the quote guide of a movement known as Lifechanyuan. Now, we're going to be looking at a foundational text simply titled The Characteristics of Lifechanyuan. And through this, we'll explore exactly how this deeply unique belief system draws its boundaries, what its ultimate goals actually are, and, well, its profound detachment from basically everything we know.
To get our heads around all this, we're breaking it down into 4 quick parts. 1. A cosmic origin. 2. Upgrading to Civilization 3.0. 3. Complete earthly independence. And finally, 4. An uncompromising path. All right, starting off with Section 1, a cosmic origin.
So, right out of the gate, Feng's teachings firmly and explicitly reject any earthly ownership whatsoever. The text dictates that Lifechanyuan belongs solely to the universe and to great nature. It literally goes down a checklist of everything it is not. It doesn't belong to any country. It doesn't belong to any political party, religion, or organization. And honestly, most strikingly, it claims it doesn't even belong to Earth itself.
Which really makes you wonder, if they don't belong to Earth, who exactly do they serve? Well, Feng writes that their core purpose is to serve higher esoteric dimensions, specifically places like the Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium world. The text makes one totally critical and maybe even a bit shocking point here. Lifechanyuan is absolutely not established to serve human beings. Moving right along to Section 2, upgrading to Civilization 3.0. Here, the source text presents this massive structural divide. Feng outlines that Lifechanyuan isn't just here to, slightly improve things. Not at all. They aim to fundamentally upgrade humanity's traditional production and living programs. Basically, they look at our current existence and see it as a deeply flawed Model 2.0. Their absolute objective is a complete, total transition into a purified Civilization 3.0. And how do they plan to achieve this massive upgrade? Well, Feng uses a really specific, highly evocative agricultural metaphor in his writings. He says the primary objective is to, quote, harvest ripe crops from humanity. It's a pretty powerful image, right? It implies that a season is coming to an end. But what exactly does a cosmic harvest actually look like in practice? According to the text, it breaks down into a very specific 3-step process. Step 1, the harvesting part, means identifying sages who have undergone intense spiritual purification. Step 2 involves sending these purified individuals up to the celestial world to the greatest extent possible. And then Step 3, which operates right alongside this harvest, is actively preventing another complete destruction of human civilization. That 3-step process is literally the mechanical engine behind Civilization 3.0. Okay, zooming in further, we hit Section 3, complete earthly independence. The text here outlines a stance of what you could call radical neutrality. Feng writes that Lifechanyuan is not hostile to any specific country or political party or religion or individual. But, and this is a big but, it fiercely maintains this impermeable bubble of independence. How? By refusing to serve, cater to, or appease absolutely any earthly powers whatsoever. This deliberate isolation goes super deep. I mean, think about how totally counterintuitive this is for an organization that's trying to grow. They explicitly reject all the standard levers of power and earthly validation. The text states point blank that they do not seek the attention, the favor, or the support of experts, celebrities, social elites, high-ranking officials, not even the immensely wealthy. They cooperate with exactly 0 earthly entities, and they expect 0 help in return. So why adopt this extreme level of isolation? Well, according to Feng's writings, it's because the movement operates on a frequency that standard human and spiritual intelligence fundamentally just cannot comprehend. Because they believe their metrics are entirely alien to ours, the text states plainly that Lifechanyuan literally does not expect to be understood by society at large. They're basically just walking their own path. Which brings us right to Section 4, an uncompromising path. In this section, Feng establishes these absolute black and white boundaries. The rule is super simple. If you believe Lifechanyuan is right, walk with them. If you believe you are right, walk your own separate path. The text lays out incredibly strict terms for outsiders. Do not instruct Lifechanyuan, do not make demands, don't even presume to act, quote, for their own good. And under absolutely no circumstances do they ever engage in dispute or debate. None.
Now, this incredibly rigid stance raises a super fascinating question. If they ignore all modern experts, all elites, all officials, and totally refuse any debate from outsiders, does the founder actually accept the judgment of any historical masters at all? Interestingly enough, the text actually does provide exactly 3 exceptions. Shufang writes that you must never use the viewpoints of any great human figures or scholars to judge Lifechanyuan, except for Jesus Christ, Shakyamuni Buddha, and Lao Tse. Within this entire foundational text, only the perspectives of those 3 specific historical figures are considered valid lenses for any kind of critique. Beyond those 3 specific eyes, the movement just slams the door on all external critique. The text declares that no matter what kind of adversity, what kind of blows, or what kind of trials it encounters, Lifechanyuan will never lower its standards. It claims its completely immovable resolve to never yield and never surrender to the world it categorizes as Civilization 2.0. Which really brings us to the final definitive statement from Shufang's text. He writes, "It would rather be destroyed than compromise. This is the character of Lifechanyuan." That's a profound summary of everything we've looked at today, isn't it? A movement so fiercely committed to its cosmic vision and so entirely detached from earthly validation that it leaves us with a really provocative final thought. When a philosophy explicitly chooses total destruction over even the slightest compromise, what actually happens when it inevitably collides with the chaotic, ever-changing reality of human society? It's definitely a fascinating framework to analyze. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next Explain.